I'm going to talk about strategies to help you truly relax and disconnect. So if you are someone who are always looking over your shoulder and being like, oh my God, why is it that I can never relax? You are going to love this live because we are going to talk about it. Why is it that happens? And also, I'm going to share some strategies with you that I have used personally and also my clients have experienced as well and experimented with it. And it went really, really well. So as you come in, I see that Adam joined. Hi, Adam. Nice to see you here. Um, and say hello in the comments. Let me know how you are doing. And if you are catching this on the replay, same thing. Say hello. Let me know what you thought about the tea. I am here for you. So I love when this is like a real conversation. So you let me know. Okay. You let me know, say hello and let me know your thoughts, your questions, everything. So as always, this session is based on my Tuesday Tea, which is my weekly newsletter where I share tips with you to help you move forward in life and build the life that you want to live, but in a gentle way. So this Tuesday Tea was very interesting. It was about how we look for systems in life and in business. And we're always trying to figure out what is it that's going to work best and what is it that's going to help us move on, move forward in life, get promoted, get a job, get more money, get the business going, right? Whatever that is, we are always trying to look for systems. At least if we are people who are, effective, you want to find the systems that work for you. And I love systems. But here's the thing, we keep forgetting about the most important system of them all, which is us, our body, our nervous system. Like you don't go anywhere, you don't apply any system without this system here. And when your whole system is on board, and on the Tuesday tea, I call the human operative system. And I just love how, this blog, this article is getting traction because at the beginning I was like, nobody's reading this. And I loved it so much because I talk about this whole concept of the human operative system. And then I saw it gaining traction. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was so excited because this is important. We have to stop neglecting the system that's going to handle everything else. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy that it's getting traction. So in this tea, the Tuesday tea about the human operative system and how to stop neglecting yourself, right? I share recipes to help you really start taking care of yourself. So as to really start taking care of yourself so you can really go after what you want, do what you want to do, and actually implement those systems that we're trying to implement. Because most of the time we're trying to implement something. It's not personalized for you, so it's not working. But then sometimes it's just like we are the ones who are not ready to implement the system. We are the ones with all the triggers and the limitations, right? And these are things that we can sort out. I was going to say very easily. Oftentimes it's not very easy, but at least it is simple. Okay. So one of the ingredients that I shared inside of the tea to help you take care of yourself and go after build the life that you want and so on was recharging moments, because recharging moments are so important. Listen, today, for example, my partner kind of dragged me outside of the house, right? We had a few things to do, but I was just like, oh, I don't want to do these. Like it's Friday. So he managed to get me out of the house and we spent the entire morning outside, right? We were running some errands. I was distracted doing other things. And then we came back home and we swam in the pool. Lunch was ready. We had lunch. And now listen, I am doing this live and today is Friday. I'm like, oh, actually, I do have the energy to do other things. And just before this live, I was taking notes about, because I'm working on some things right now and I'm looking that way because my wall is full of papers about different things. So I'm working on these program that I want to implement so people can have more access to me as a one-to-one, to have coaching with me. And like, oh my God. And when I was just like taking notes because I had so much creativity and energy. That's how important recharging is, right? And then I was having a conversation with a member of the Gentle Badass community. And she was telling me about, Erica, I really love the article. It makes so much sense, but I struggle so much with those recharge moments. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know the other ingredients, go ahead and read the tea, right? If you catch the replay, the link is going to be somewhere. But anyways, you can read the rest of the ingredients. It's very fun tea, very you know. But yeah, she was telling me about, oh, Erica, but like for me, those recharging moments are really really hard. I just cannot rest, right? And this is not the first time that I hear this. Working with people who have been through a lot and are now building, for example, business. Most of my clients, it's very interesting because recently most of my clients are business women, and it's been very interesting to work with business women because it's hard to disconnect, right? And in business women and men, right? But I've been working with women, so that's the experience that I have to give you. But in general, we struggle to disconnect, right? Because there's always something. And my partner usually is like, "Oh, have you finished?" I'm like, "I've never finished. There's always something else to do, but I'm just letting go of what I'm not doing today." So sometimes, even at lunchtime, and when we're having a break, we find it very hard to disconnect. And I've seen it with myself. I've seen it with clients time and time again. So here we are having this conversation. This conversation is all about helping you truly disconnect, because how many of us know that, yeah, we need to disconnect, we need to relax, I should probably give myself a break from time to time. But how many of us are really, truly sitting down, just like I described the other day, that I had this day where I was just, well, not the entire day. I am not that cool. I wish. But I spent, just a few minutes just looking at the ceiling, wiggling my toes, and just like, oh, look, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. And that's totally fine, right? Many people struggle with that. It's scary to struggle with that, which leads me to the first point of trying to help you here in truly relaxing, right? In truly having those recharge moments, which is, I see a lot of people just saying like, oh, but that's just how I am. Like, I can never disconnect. It's terrible. That's just part of being a businesswoman. And it's not true. It's not a personality trait. It's just that you don't feel safe resting. So the thing here, it's not that, oh, this is just how I am. I'm hyperactive and whatever, whatever. It's like, no, that's not who you are. That's not your baseline, right? Your baseline should be, I am tired, I'm going to rest. That's how our bodies are made to function. But something happened that kind of messed up with that system, right? Here we go again, talking about the human operative system, because it is what it is. So, just for starters, I would love us to just land into this idea that the problem here is not who you are, what you are, whatever. It's more of like, okay, I don't feel safe resting. And I feel like this realization is really important because it will allow you implement the rest. Because if you are sitting down, let's say you're taking a break from work, right? And you are trying to not look at the phone, not open the freaking laptop, messages can wait and all of that. And you're sitting down and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. Looking one side and look at, like, does this sound familiar? Looking one side and looking the other, like, I should check my phone. I'm so bored. Right. This is one way of saying things, and then getting frustrated at yourself and being like, oh, I had one of these days a few weeks ago where I was just like, I didn't rest and I didn't work. I was just mad at myself. I was just like, oh, why can't I rest? Okay. So this is one way you can do things. And then a different way you can do things is being like, okay, you know what? I don't feel safe resting right now. What can I do to help myself feel safe and take the rest that I need to take? See the difference in energies. See how that's different from like, this is terrible. I can never disconnect. This is horrible. Or even worse, just blaming people for always wanting something from you. People will be asking things from you, and that's annoying sometimes, but you are the one who has to set the boundaries, right? So just land on this idea that the thing that we're trying to do here is to create safety. So everything that I'm going to tell you in the next minute is to help you create safety in your body, because it's not that you can not rest because of your to-do list We all have a big to-do list. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's freaking endless. it's, oh, it's freaking endless. It's not the to-do list. It's not that you're bad or stupid or what the hell is wrong with you. No, 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 no. It's just that somewhere in the past, you've got the idea that it's not true. It's not, I'm mixing up words because I was thinking ahead of myself, but somewhere in the past, you have learned that it's not safe for you to rest. And that was probably true. That was probably true. I come from a household with a lot of violence, and it was not safe for me to rest. I could never relax because I had to be ready for the next move because I never knew, when the person who was abusing me was up to something. So I had to always be like, right? Just get ready so nothing wrong happens to you, nothing bad happens to you today, this minute, this hour. So I know the feeling very well. Now, the problem is that even when you do a bunch of the work, you still can experience these symptoms. And now, maybe you need to dive deeper and there's some healing to do that. Or maybe it's just a matter of, wait a minute, the symptoms, what I feel in my body is very similar to when I was being traumatized. So you're probably going to feel that anxiety because you have been active all day and you have so many things to do and you're overwhelmed and you start getting anxious, right? So it's not a matter of like, oh, I need to go ahead and heal my past all over again. It's a matter of how do I create safety in the present moment? So that's what we are going to do. One thing that I have to tell you is that the solution, I'm going to give you some strategies. It's not always immediate. It really depends on the amount of work that you have done and if that work really worked for you. So just have that into consideration, okay? And it's totally fine if it takes its time because we're talking here about, our human operative system. So sometimes it takes some time to update and to upgrade, and that's totally fine. So don't let that discourage you and get you out of, the track and just not implement anything because it didn't work for a week, if you imagine if you just started healing like a year ago or 2 years ago and you don't do any of the things that I'm going to share, then it's going to take some time for you. And that's totally fine. So I leave that up to you to do the balancing because since I'm not one-on-one with you, I have no way of knowing. So that's you. You have to know that, or you can always send me a DM. I'm always available. Okay. All right. Let me take a sip of my tea because I brought tea, green tea. I heard it's really good for you. Oh gosh, it is hot out there. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. So first tip that I want to give you two very practical strategies. And then there's one that's very deep and it's going to depend on where you are right now on your journey. So first one is when you are resting, you finished work, you close your laptop. I'm sorry, I only have online working examples. That's my life and most of my clients. But you close your laptop and you go to your living room and you're like, okay, time to relax for an hour. Do not for the life of you, do things that are going to leave you anxious or hyperactive. Was it yesterday? I was so tired and I needed to rest. So I went to the living room, was in my sofa. And what did I do? Grab my phone, over to Instagram, scroll. And it wasn't even about the content. It was about what it was doing for my brain. It was firing up my brain in a way that I was like, what am I doing here? It was creating anxiety because I was working so hard all day. And then I just kept pushing my brain with all of this content changing every 3 seconds, right? So most of the time we want to rest and we start doing the least restful thing. So we grab the phone because it's easy, right? It's there and it's like just like this. And we're like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just consuming. But you're consuming energy that you don't have. and you are not actually resting. So the mobile phone is just an example, but you can think about examples for you when you're resting. And maybe this is your cue to next time you're resting, think about what is it that you're doing when you're resting. Really, really think about it. Okay. Are you going through a list of all your problems? Well, in this case, maybe switch it up and go through a list of everything that you have done today, everything that went well today. Oh, by the way, if you need a tip for sleeping wonderfully, before you go to bed, well, when you're in bed, before you fall asleep, close your eyes and think about all the things that went well. I do this every day. It's so cool. I think about all the things that went well. I start with, oh, I woke up in the morning. That's one good thing. And then I just fall asleep thinking about good things, and it's amazing. So you can do that on your sofa when you're resting, and you just think about what went well, and all the things that make you feel rested and not stressed. It's so simple, but like we forget, right? We really forget about these things. Okay, let me give you the other practical tip, and then I'm going to give you the other, which is more profound, that it depends on the level that you are. Well, not level. I don't like saying level. The journey, where you are in your journey. Okay, the other strategy is to make a brain dump, because sometimes we just have like so much in your brains and we just need to brain dump. So just grab a piece of paper, and whatever is just like stressing you out, just write it down and throw it away, and then go rest. And then this one is a little bit tricky, but it works for some people, which is keep like a Post-it note. Gosh, there's something here. Huh? Keep just like a little Post-it, and every time you remember, oh, I have to do something, and I know, and I'm doing this voice because it's my own voice as well. Just write it down here and let it be, okay? Because sometimes we try to fight those thoughts and just get them out of you. Okay, so this is one of those practical things. Take it. Oh, and if you apply this, you let me know, okay? I always love knowing like how things are going for you. And by the way, we have our Gentle Badass chat, and it's for both paid and free members. And it's such a cool place to be. And this is the type of things that sometimes we talk about in the chat. Okay, so if you want to join us, already know where I am, the Gentle Badass. Yep. Okay. So let's talk about the other strategy that depends on where you are on your journey. Okay. So here's the thing. We people who have a sensitive nervous system, what I have noticed is that we don't do very well with extremes, with going from one situation to the other and just be like, yeah, okay, so I'm working, and all of this happened, and now I'm resting. It's like your nervous system is going to take some time to realize that it's okay to rest, right? Plus everything that you are carrying and the beliefs that you are carrying about rest. So what is it that we need to do? Getting back to that feeling safe thing, sometimes before you actually sit down to rest, maybe 1 minute breath work. Maybe you do a little meditation. I love using Insight Timer. And I'm just getting ready to, inside of my paid membership, just put all of my favorite meditation and nervous system regulation tools over there, because I know how important it is for your journey. But you may want to do a short meditation. You may want to do some EFT tapping, all of these practices that help you actually regulate, because you may practice some self-regulation, tools and systems already, but I feel like we forget that those tools are not just to use just when you are desperate, when things are really badly, but if you are resting and you're like, oh my God, I cannot rest, instead of staying in that spiral, in that thing, I call that the survival vortex, right? Everything is well, and all of a sudden you're sucked in, and it's like you're not resting anymore. You are like in a in a box in a boxing match against yourself, right? So when you find yourself over there, leaning into the tools, especially if you have done a lot of the work, can you close your eyes and do some deep breathing? Can you do like some quick EFT tapping? Like, I'm so frustrated, I cannot rest. but I am allowing myself this moment. Keep tapping, tapping, 2 minutes. EFT tapping is so, I use it all the time with my clients and they love it. It's like the first thing. I feel most of my clients, when they come to have like, like a session with me and they're thinking about working with me, if we're doing the tapping, they're like, oh, I need more of this because it's so effective. But okay. So remember how I told you that this is going to depend on where you are on your journey. You want to implement these strategies, the self-regulation, not only when you are resting, but also outside. I hear a lot of people talking about how they always feel restless. But when I go deep, they are not actually practicing anything that helps their nervous system be regulated, right? When when I was teaching yoga, I am a yoga teacher, by the way, even though I haven't been teaching. I'm thinking about it because I have some ideas, but I haven't been teaching. But when I used to teach yoga, one of the things that I loved most was like people telling me how they just loved um, having a great night of sleep. Sometimes it's just that simple, how they felt calmer throughout the day. Sometimes it's that simple. You having that mindfulness practice, that in the moment practice, because when you're doing yoga, for me, you are practicing being present. You are learning to be safe in stillness because stillness is not safe for many of us, right? So you've got 3 wonderful strategies to help you rest. And if you're right now like, oh my God, I'm going to do all that so I can rest 15 minutes. Yes, it's fucking worth it because those minutes and those hours that you are going to rest are going to impact directly the results that you have in your life, the results that you have in your business. You know what I mean? So do not hesitate to take some time because if you are resting, like instead of 15 minutes, you have 15 minutes of fighting yourself versus 2 minutes of regulation and then 13 minutes in like, you can even take like a deep nap. Oh, I love a good nap. Do you love a good nap? Let me know in the comments. Listen, this is what I wanted to share with you today. And I'm just so excited. I really would love to know from you if this was useful to help you disconnect and to help you rest and switch off. And always, sometimes we have these difficulties, and what I want to tell you is you don't have to do this alone. I gave you some strategies. If you try out these strategies, and if you're like, yeah, but I do all that and I still cannot disconnect, I still cannot rest, then reach out for help, right? This is one of those things that if you come to me and have sessions, we can work for this during like 4 weeks and you're going to see like the difference. Sometimes even in a session and I may help you like adjust what is it that you need to adjust in your daily routine. What are the main stressors that are not allowing you to rest, completely. So just also don't close yourself to receive support, right? I I've been open about my past and my childhood and everything. I've been through so much. I was suffering from PTSD, and for me to be able to rest and relax, to have true nights of sleep, I had to go through some experts, right? I had my life coach that was with me for years. Today she's one of like my best friends because she was helping me during, very important times of my life, and I think therapy as well. So if you are struggling with these problems, do not hesitate of asking for help. You can always DM me and we can talk about ways of working together. And if I see, I'm the type of coach that if I see that you need something different, I'm also going to tell you. So really feel free yeah, to consider applying the strategies, but also just don't feel like you have to do this alone. Oh, and by the way, I don't only do one-on-one sessions. We have the paid subscription portion of the Gentle Badass, which is the academy where we work on building the life that you want, but in a way that is gentle. And as I told you, I always putting resources in the hub. Sometimes we have a workshop coming up. Sometimes we have nice quests and challenges to help you just, stay on track, but in a way that honors yourself and that helps you take care of you as you go. Because I want you to be freaking successful, but I want everything to be sustainable. So if you are called to be a part of our community, hit the subscribe or upgrade button and join us, right? Okay. Now I have a surprise for you. Okay. I have a surprise for you. So a gift. If you watch this video, well, if you're watching this, you probably watched the entire video. I'm going to trust you. So if you watch this video until the end, I want to give you a gift. Okay. I'm going to do two of these. I'm going to do two of these. What I want you to do is, okay, you watch this video to the end. And if you leave me a comment, what was the word? I forgot about the word. It's a gift. Don't go anywhere. Don't be like, it's over. It's not over yet. Okay. If you comment rest and you are the first or the second person to comment, you win a one-on-one session with me. Okay. So that's the gift. Comment rest, and I am going to send you the link to book a session with me. Free, complimentary. Not even joking. What can we do during this session? And if you're live and you want to have this session with me, you comment as well. Okay. 2 people are going to get this. 2. I've been sprinkling some gifts in my content and I love it. Okay. So what happens during this session? So if you have the problem that we just described, you're not able to rest, you're not able to disconnect, and you would love to talk about it, maybe do some releasing and work on this, we can do it during the session. Another thing we can do during the session is take a look into your systems and are they working? Look, Gaia commented rest. Okay, Gaia, I'll send it a link then. Oh boy. So if you there are still 2 spots, okay, for the people who catch the replay. Don't worry. So if you so if you have a problem with the systems in your life, you feel like, oh my God, Erica, look, this is the system that I have implemented for my sales, for my business. This is how I'm running my life. I feel like I'm overwhelmed. I can sit down with you, review the systems with you, and help you create a structure that actually works for you. Okay. And then we can talk about different things. So it's really up to you. If you're not sure, just comment rest. And then I'll DM you and you tell me like, okay, can we work on this? Can we work on that? Most probably the answer is yes, because I'm here to guide you and to help you get the answers that are really truly aligned with you. So yeah, just take a chance. Okay, I'm excited. I am so freaking excited to see first of all, who watches till the end and who claimed this gift. Okay, Adam, Gaia, thank you so much for joining me live. If you are catching this on the replay, I want to know your name. Please in the comments say, hey, this is so-and-so. Tell me how you're doing. And if you want the free session with me, then comment rest. Okay? And I'll see you next week because I'm doing this every Friday. And every Friday I may come up with a new gift. Who knows? Isn't this fun? Okay. We're having awareness, we're having strategies, and we're having gifts in one call. Wow, this is not a call live. Anyways, I'll see you then. Bye. Remember, be a badass because you already are, but always be gentle with yourself. Okay? Now it's official. I'm going to let you go. Bye bye.